Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm very happy to have you here, guys. In today's video I want to review and I want to hear my thoughts about a fragrance by the house of Frank Olivier. This is my first fragrance from the house and I'm talking about Oud Touch. Guys, basically I was one day on Notino and I was looking for some other fragrances and I saw this one at a really great price, and I've already seen it in like a few videos and I wanted to get my hands on this one. So I was like, okay, that's it, that's a sign. When I had a chance to sniff this one, I've realized that I already have a fragrance in my collection that's extremely similar to this one that I actually do enjoy a lot as well. So basically, guys, I will share my thoughts about Oud Touch by Frank Olivier, and after that I will compare it to Gold Oud Edition by Pascal Morabito because they're very similar. And I do have something to say about that. So let's begin. When I looked at the notes on this one, the note spoke to me. Oh my gosh, I was like, wow, this is my kind of fragrance. It has spices, it has rose, it has oud, it has darker notes, it has patchouli, it has some amber resinous notes there. I was like, yes, I want to try this one. This sounds amazing. So yes, I got this one, guys. And now I will insert the note somewhere over here. But this is very interesting because to me, in the opening, I can really smell the orange note, guys. Like, I can really smell the orange note. Yeah, I would say that this is a dark fragrance. This opens up dark, and this stays dark. And I don't know, I think this is like, I don't know from what year this is, but to me, I was expecting this one to have a lot more depth to it. I was expecting this one to be a bit richer in terms of the fragrance, like it does in terms of the scent. But it's not. It's almost like it's a bit like watered down, but like just the tiniest bit. This is a unisex that leans maybe a tad bit more masculine, I would say, because even though this is sweet, but this is not like extremely sweet. Like if you have Oud Mood, it's less sweet than Oud Mood. If you have Sheikh Al Shur, it's less sweet than Sheikh Al Shur. It's less sweet than that. Okay, so what I can get basically, this one, I can get the orange, I can get the rose, and I can get the warmth of the amber and the resinous notes, and I can get a bit of the oud, but the oud to me, again, it's there in the background. I don't think that the oud here can be bothering to anyone. It has a Middle Eastern vibe for sure. Like if you don't like Middle Eastern fragrances, like if you don't like that typical Middle Eastern fragrance style, I do not think that you would enjoy this one. But if you do like that typical Middle Eastern fragrance style, you would really enjoy this one. Yes, now it's interesting. I don't know if it's just my nose or not, but now smelling it, I can almost get like a slight incensey vibe. But this is for sure a rose fragrance. I mean, I don't think the rose here is very dark, but it's more of a dense rose. But to me, this is quite a balanced fragrance. It's not too challenging, it's not too basic, it's not too light, it's not too dark, it's not too masculine, it's not too feminine, it's not too heavy on the rose. I would say that it's more of a safe fragrance. If you like this kind of fragrances, that's the key, like guys, that's the key phrase. If you like this kind of fragrances. If you don't, then you can find it challenging, heavy, masculine, feminine, all this. But if you like Middle Eastern fragrances in general, if you're familiar with Middle Eastern fragrances, I don't think this is a challenging scent. I think this is actually a very pleasant fragrance. Oh yes, by the way, I forgot to tell you, this one is supposed to dupe Dior, how is that one called? Oud Isfahan. Yes, it's supposed to dupe that one. I've never tried Oud Isfahan by Dior, so I don't know if they're close or not, but it is supposed to dupe that one. The scent is great. It has the Middle Eastern vibe, it has all the notes that I love, but I was expecting, honestly, to get a scent that's very dense, that's very rich smelling, that has a lot of depth to it. And to me, this does not have that much depth to it. I mean, it is a bit flat. It might be just my bottle or my batch, because a lot of companies are reformulating their fragrances now, so it might be just my batch. It's not as sweet as I was expecting it to be. It's not as dark and as dense as I was expecting it to be. But to me, guys, they took the notes and they made a fragrance that's easy to sell. And it still has a Middle Eastern vibe, With this one, guys, like I feel like you would really have to overspray it. At least I would really have to overspray this one to get like a scent bubble. Now, if I were to compare this one with Gold Oud Edition by Pascal Morabito, just like depending where you live, I think Gold Oud Edition is even more affordable than this one, so do not skip on that. But on this hand I have Oud Touch by Frank Olivier, on this hand I have Gold Oud Edition by Pascal Morabito. And guys, to be honest, I would actually advise you to check out the one from Pascal Morabito, because it's denser, darker, richer and more complex. But I have to make a disclaimer. I absolutely love the opening and the middle part of this one from Pascal Morabito. To me, it is a true hidden gem. It's extremely spicy, it's extremely dense, it's very warm. The rose here is very dense as well. If you are into Middle Eastern fragrances, do check this one out. Like, I would highly advise you to check this one out. It smells very rich and it smells very opulent and luxurious. And this one actually has the depth that I was looking to find in this one. But guys, the thing is, if you don't like oud, then I would feel like this one would be a safer option, because the oud here, it's like basically almost like non-existent. It's like you have like a touch of oud there, you know, like a hint of oud. If you do like oud, guys, I would actually advise you to go for this one from Pascal Morabito, because overall this one just smells way more rich and luxurious and opulent, guys. Like, this one smells opulent. The problem that I have with this one, the opening, I absolutely love it. The middle part, I absolutely love it. The dry down, I hate the dry down. In the dry down, this one goes very funky on my skin. And for some reason, I thought that it was just my skin. So then I went ahead and I tested this one on my partner's skin, and on him it does the same thing. So it's the fragrance, you know, not my skin or anything. To give you an example of how this one smells in the dry down, to me it smells, guys, like if you've ever like partied in Europe, and basically you're in the old town of any city in Europe, and you know that after the party, like, drunk people piss on the streets, you know. I know the comparison is not the best, but hear me out. And you get the same vibe, you know, like that urine weird vibe, you know, and I get it from this one in the dry down. And by the way, I do not have a very sensitive nose when it comes to fragrances. Like, I do not consider myself to be sensitive when it comes to fragrances, especially when it comes to heavy fragrances. For some reason, heavy fragrances never give me a headache. Because of this dry down, I am a bit on the fence if I should really advise you to blend by this one or not. But even if you check this one on Fragrantica, a lot of people mention that this is a hidden gem, because it is. Like, it really is. But keep in mind that weird dry down. I don't know, you might get it, you might not get it. I'm just letting you know about it because it happened to me. I'm really surprised that they've managed to create a fragrance that smells so rich and luxurious for like what? Not even $20, 20 euros. I mean, this is something, honestly, guys. If you can get this one at a great price, like, try it. It's a unisex for sure. It has a sweetness to it, but at the same time it has a smokiness and a darkness to it, so I would not say that this is like too feminine, you know. Again, this one to me is the perfect unisex. This one, it might lean a bit more masculine, I don't know. Basically, this one doesn't have the depth and the complexity and the richness of this one, but this one is a safer option for those who are just starting out with this kind of fragrances. This one is way heavier on the rose, is way heavier on the spices. This one is smoky, but like a true smoky scent, you know. But to me, guys, this one, like, think of the smell of orange, think of the smell of roses, and think of the smell of, I don't know, like something very warm, like something very amber-like. And this is what I get from this one. And then you have like a splash of something that makes it basically a bit more masculine, I would say, and that cuts through that sweetness. This one, on the other hand, this one is very sweet, very spicy, very rose dominant, very smoky. It legit smells like you're burning woods. This one, to me, is a bit diluted. And maybe, again, guys, like, maybe it's just my batch, but it's a bit diluted. Like, I wouldn't call this one necessarily like a beast mode fragrance. This one, on the other hand, this one is way more potent, way more dense, but with longevity you do have to reapply it like after like 6 hours. I would advise you to reapply this one as well. Now if I were to tell you which one smells richer, more luxurious, it would definitely be this one because it's more potent, but they both smell great. They both have that Middle Eastern, that typical Middle Eastern vibe. So if you don't enjoy those kind of fragrances, I don't think that you will enjoy any of these, to be honest. But if I were to advise you to check out one of these two, I think I would advise you to go for this one because to me this is more unique. Again, I have never smelled Oud Isfahan, so I don't know which one is more similar to Oud Isfahan, but I can tell you that this one is really unique and it's definitely something else, guys. Like this fragrance, even my partner said that it's very unique, and usually he's not really into fragrances, you know, so for him to appreciate a fragrance like this means it's really good because I really trust his nose. If we were to talk about versatility, in my opinion, both of these are more for the colder months, especially this one in the summer. I've tried it, it's a no, especially with the dry down. This one can be a bit too much in the summer, and keep in mind it comes from me and I like those fragrances that are very potent, but this one in the summer might be a bit too much. This one I could actually wear it in the summer, on a summer night out. I see no problem in wearing this one. Performance, I think I've mentioned. With this one I get around 5 to 6 hours on my skin, depending on how I prep it, on clothes or full day wear. With this one I actually do not remember how much I get on my skin, but like more than I want, because when it comes to that weird dry down part, I feel like that one lasts for an eternity. I get to that smell that's bothering after like 4 to 5 hours on the skin, and on clothes until like half a day I get to that part of the fragrance that I do not enjoy it. But again, maybe it's just my nose and maybe it's bothering to me, it might not bother you. So guys, basically, if you want a fragrance that's unique, if you want a fragrance that smells very rich and luxurious, if you want a fragrance that stands out, if you want a fragrance that it's something else, try this one. If you want something that's similar to this one but more wearable, a bit more watered down, try this one. To me, I enjoy both of these. I wear both of these. If I were to overall recommend you one, I think I would advise you to check this one out, because overall this one is definitely way more unique and it smells way more expensive than it is. Oh guys, I forgot to tell you something. If you want, I have a review, a dedicated review for this one. I will try to link it somewhere here. And I forgot to tell you how this one smells in the dry down. Basically, in the dry down, this one, the patchouli comes to life and you get this like a bit dusty, earthiness vibe, and that same sweet orangey rose, sweet but not too sweet, orangey rose ambery vibe. At least this is what I get to my nose. So yes guys, this is everything I wanted to tell you. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate each and every one of you. I absolutely love chatting in the comment section with you, so if you want to tell me anything, put it there and I promise that I will get back to you. Yes guys, thank you so much for watching, and I want to wish you an amazing day wherever you are. Bye. Mwah.